neurotechnologies is a big hot topic in Latin American countries. Chile add a little extra piece in their privacy provision in their constitutions that says that those scientific and technological developments have to protect the mental integrity of individuals, and that brain activity and the information that is found within that activity is protected. And as Maria was saying, it's also protected in Peru. And we have bills in Brazil to amend the LGPD to add neurodata into the sensitive data definition and implements a specific legal grounds to processing neurodata in Brazil. And in Colombia, the data protection bill that plans to implement like a more GDPR-like regime includes a specific section for neurodata. This has the 5 rights that Maria was telling and are personality identity, free will, mental privacy, and equitable access and protection against bias. So we have a lot of countries trying to cover that front before those type of technologies are actually implemented in the region. And I want to briefly mention some challenges that still exist. So the regional harmonization. As we can see, there's a lot of the patchwork in the Latin American regions. You still have to assess each country that you're planning to do business with to make sure you're complying with all the different requirements and all the different level of maturities that you can find within the region. Cross-border data transfer, even as Maria was saying, there's an effort to try to harmonize all the cross-border frameworks that we have. You have to assess the level of protection that a potential recipient will give to your personal data in a cross-border transfer. And lastly, I want to mention that political instability is also a big challenge in the Latin American region because it can impact the way of data protection authorities, how they work, and how independent and how permanent they are. For example, we have the recent case of Mexico, the INAI, that was the data protection authority for a while in Mexico, and that was independent, has been dissolved and now replaced by the Secretariat of Anti-Corruption and Good Government Secretariat, which is a new DPIA, but is body within the executive branch. So there's a lot of preoccupation of the advocates of how independent this authority is going to be and the supervision is going to have for the processing of personal data by government entities.
Yeah, and Danielle, what steps can companies take to reduce some of the regulatory risk in these areas?
I think that having the most privacy-friendly approach and maybe like having the principle-based approach that aligns with the GDPR would be one of the better things to do to like prevent enforcement and monitor. Like I feel that this, specifically in this region, like constantly monitor the legal developments and the enforcement to make sure you know the focus of the authorities to prevent enforcement and to quickly implement the changes to your program that you need to do. For example, in neurotechnologies, fintech that are always like changing and trying to like enact new regulations and laws. Monitor is the hot tip that I will give all the people that is trying to make business in Latin America.
Keep an eye on what's going on.
Exactly.